Today we'll be discussing two topics: Germany entering their recession and announcing it, and Adidas trying to recover from their fallout with Kanye West, or as he's known now, Ye. According to recent news, Adidas is trying to recover from losing nearly half of its profits after their recent very public fallout with Ye. According to a recent article from Bloomberg, millions of Yeezy sneakers are still sitting in storage facilities in the US and China and awaiting their fate. The article describes these limited edition sneakers as unique and eye-catching, with designs ranging from snug turtleneck sweaters for your feet to soles resembling teeth or pillowy clouds. However, Adidas has struggled to determine how to handle their surplus of Yeezy inventory. This article mentions that Adidas executives in Germany have debated various options, such as donating the products to disaster-stricken areas or even burning them. Eventually, they decided to sell the footwear and donate a portion of the proceeds to charity. The remaining unsold sneakers are expected to be made available to the public later this month. The split with Kanye West, who was a major driving force behind Adidas' success, has exposed some long-standing issues with the company. Before the partnership ended, Adidas shoes accounted for a significant portion of the company's revenue and profits. The article highlights that Adidas became dangerously dependent on one person to achieve its financial goals, neglecting other aspects of the business. The consequences of this over-reliance on the Yeezy brand are evident. Adidas is now projecting an operating loss of $700 million this year, its first since the 1990s. The company also faces the challenge of discounting over $6 billion worth of unsold footwear and apparel due to supply chain difficulties and exaggerated demand. Jane Werning, head of ESG capital markets and stewardship at the Union Investment, believes that Adidas needs a major overhaul to recover from this Yeezy disaster. In November, Adidas fired its CEO Kasper Rorsted 3 years early and appointed Bjorn Golding, the CEO of Puma, as his replacement. Golden faces the task of turning the company around after examining Adidas' financial estimates. He emphasized the need for faster decision-making and expressed confidence in restoring Adidas as the best sports brand. The article also sheds light on the history of Adidas and its previous attempts to compete with Nike. It mentions missed opportunities like the refusal to sign Michael Jordan in 1984 and the failure of the Prada-Beyoncé collaboration. However, Adidas did find success with the Yeezy line, and partnership with Kanye West brought significant revenue for the company. Unfortunately, the relationship between Ye and Adidas deteriorated over time, leading to their split. West accused Adidas of stealing his designs and expressed his desire to work independently without corporate involvement. The departure has left Adidas with the challenge of reclaiming lost profits and finding new avenues for growth. It's clear that Adidas is facing a challenging period as it navigates the aftermath of the Yeezy partnership. The company must address its over-reliance on a single brand and implement changes to regain profitability. We'll be keeping a close eye on Adidas' future moves and how they strive to recover from this financial setback.
In 2013, Mad Money host Jim Cramer was given credit for coming up with the term FANG. Originally, it included 4 high-growth tech stocks that he recommended: Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. All American technological powerhouses which have served those who had invested at the time very well. There's been an extra A which has been added, which is Apple, which needs no introduction, and the N for Netflix is also being replaced with Microsoft, which is a stock that Wall Street loves. Anyways, for the purposes of this video, let's just keep it as FANG, because that could turn into a completely separate discussion, which we're not looking to get into today. Amazon, an original FANG stock, had not reached its exuberant highs without question of whether the company's making the right decisions or not. To dive into the topic that I want to talk about today, infrastructure, we don't have to look too far back. So to kick things off, let's rewind and kind of set the stage here. 2017. Many Amazon shareholders were very critical of the company because it had reached an all-time high of $7.2 billion in shipping losses in 2016. The e-commerce giant started its own self-fulfilled delivery service in 2014, fulfilled by Amazon, and that's when we started seeing these blue Amazon trucks driving around, even stopping by our doorsteps to drop off packages. In the early 21st century, Amazon relied on third-party companies such as FedEx and UPS to deliver our packages. Today, fulfilled by Amazon may seem like a good idea, but as I mentioned, in the past, it was something that people were very questionable of and very critical of. Spending a ton of money on logistics infrastructure and going up against big names who had more time to mature in the space was in fact a risky bet. In the short term, losses continued to mount and increase, and the proof just seemed to be in the numbers that this was not a good idea. Since Amazon has been expanding its delivery services into ocean freights, semi-trucks, and drone, and really the only reason that the company was able to turn a profit was because of its cloud infrastructure arm, AWS, or Amazon Web Services. So you really have to put yourself in the place of shareholders and imagine how they felt at the time. The sentiment for the most part probably was that it just isn't working. Fast forward to today, putting all this money into logistics infrastructures has turned into a competitive advantage for Amazon. Amazon went from being dependent on these third-party companies to delivering 22% of all packages in 2021. As a benchmark, FedEx had 19% market share and UPS had 24% market share. Now they're on track to become the world's largest logistics company. Customers are choosing Amazon because of convenience. Creating a moat through infrastructure has clearly been proven effective in the e-commerce industry. Is NIO trying to do the same thing in electric vehicles? CEO and Chairman William Li believes that building out the infrastructure is something that's going to be critical and crucial to NIO's success in the future. To quote him, he views it as planting trees now to enjoy the shade later. I wonder if he took a page out of Amazon's book. But in my opinion, he definitely took a page out of Tesla's book. Tesla has the most mature charging network built out in the US. Unlike many other competitors, they're not relying on third party. They're putting as much focus on electric vehicles as they are on the infrastructure that's powering those vehicles. Infrastructure is costly. You should have gotten that from this video already. That's certainly probably part of the reason that it took Tesla 16 years to become profitable. But in the words of William Li, they planted the trees first, now they get to enjoy the shade. In February, the White House announced that Tesla, with the support of $7.5 billion in government subsidies, will open a portion of its US supercharger and destination charger network to non-Tesla EVs. This is huge as it will provide another source of revenue to the company without having to deliver more cars. The charging business is lucrative, but that's another video. I don't want to deviate too much from this one. Now, NIO has received many subsidies from the Chinese government to build charging infrastructure as well, battery swapping stations, fast charging, etc. Tesla and NIO are being chosen because of their technology. They have the best and most mature technology, but not only that, they already have proven product that's out on the streets. They have infrastructure stood up already and it's working, but not only working, but working well. Getting ahead in the field of electric vehicles involves so much more than just selling cars. I believe that NIO needs to get as much infrastructure on the ground as quickly as they possibly can. And I also believe that they're making the same bet that a tech giant like Amazon has made in the past. Not to mention that China has already chosen battery swapping as a preferred method of refueling, and they're looking to standardize it in the future. NIO at some point may be asked to standardize their battery swapping technology. And like we're seeing Tesla, who's more mature in the space right now, battery swapping can certainly become a form of revenue for the company without them having to deliver more cars. Put it simple, NIO's the best at battery swapping in the world. Their ultra-fast charging piles are already open to most EV brands as well. To top it off, a lot of R&D spend is going into charging technologies, and trust me, it's a lot. It's in the billions. If it works out the way that things did with Amazon and soon to be Tesla, I think that history will repeat itself to NIO's avail. According to recent reports today, the Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer NIO and Mercedes-Benz have been in exploratory talks about their partnership. These discussions revolved around the German automaker Mercedes-Benz investing into NIO in order to take advantage of their technology.
such technology like battery swapping. It's a tantalizing proposition, isn't it? Imagine NIO, the up-and-coming EV manufacturer, sharing its cutting-edge research and technology with the German automotive giant Mercedes-Benz. The potential implications are vast and could reshape the entire electric vehicle landscape. NIO's CEO and founder, William Li, sat down with Mercedes-Benz CEO Ola, I don't know how to say his last name, so forgive me, but that was earlier this year to discuss a prospective alliance. The talks, however, didn't progress to the stage of outlining a technological alliance or even NIO securing financial investments from Mercedes-Benz. Everything just hung in the delicate balance of possibility. One source hinted that NIO initiated the conversation, but hurdles within Mercedes-Benz itself ultimately derailed these conversations. Allegedly, of course. Mercedes-Benz research and development teams reportedly harbor reservations around this type of partnership, fearing that such collaboration could tarnish the name and image of Mercedes-Benz. You see, Mercedes-Benz is actually seen by many as a status symbol, something of luxury, something of wealth. For them to partner with an up-and-coming Chinese electric vehicle maker, and if you know the history of Chinese electric vehicles, or not Chinese electric vehicles, but Chinese automotives, China has never really been the biggest in the automotive world. So there's the fear that that diminishes the Mercedes-Benz status symbol, the symbol of wealth, luxury, power, which is all marketing, of course, but that is the perception that Mercedes-Benz wants to give off. The big question here is, how does this industry titan navigate this partnership with a company that could be the future of the industry? Can they balance their desire for innovation with the need to protect the brand that they've created? And when does potential gain from collaboration outweigh perceived risk? Remember, the automotive industry is in the midst of a significant transformation driven by electrification and the pursuit of sustainability. In such a dynamic landscape, partnerships become crucial for survival. As the rumors swirl around NIO and Mercedes-Benz, it's crucial to reflect on the role of technology in shaping the future of mobility. Battery technology, fast charging networks, and vehicle platforms are the keys to success in this EV race. But should companies like Mercedes-Benz be willing to bend their own technology vision to embrace a game-changing partnership? Or is the fear of losing control over their brand too great of a risk? NIO's journey, on the other hand, has been dotted with flames of collaboration. An image of Mercedes-Benz CEO sitting with the NIO CEO had sparked a lot of controversy earlier this year. What could they have discussed in that closed-door meeting, and how close were they to sealing a deal? Of course, false claims and misinformation have added some complexities to the situation. So could the situation that we're in today illustrate the pitfalls of how rumors can completely kill something? In a world full of misinformation, how do we discern fact from fiction? We can't ignore the voices of skepticism. Some believe that a partnership between NIO and Mercedes-Benz could be detrimental to Mercedes-Benz. Could this be a lesson in the delicate art of corporate decision-making, where strategic vision must align perfectly with market reality? As we conclude this episode, let these questions linger in your mind. How do you balance innovation and brand protection? Can a partnership truly reshape an industry, or are the risks too great? As we've been doing, we'll keep an eye on NIO and Mercedes-Benz, and we'll continue to watch until the point where they ink the deal, or we just realize that the deal will never happen.
What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi, and welcome back to Courtside Financial, the podcast where we talk about business and technology. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content. Make sure you hit that like button because it really does go a long way in helping out the channel. And also make sure you leave a comment down below because that goes a long way in helping out the channel as well. We'll be talking about two exciting topics today, but first let's dive into AI and its potential to replace higher level jobs alongside from the jobs that people are already expecting it to replace. When we talk about AI replacing jobs, there's a broader conversation around upskilling and the ethical implications of AI. Upskilling refers to providing the necessary programs and resources for individuals whose jobs may be taken away by AI advancement. It's crucial to ensure that these advancements benefit society as a whole without causing harm. Now, analysts have identified a few professions that are at risk of being replaced by AI, including accountants, admin and legal assistants, mathematicians, writers, and authors, among others. Even seemingly safe jobs like taxi drivers could be threatened in the future, with companies like Tesla and NIO working on building robo-taxi networks. This raises concerns about the potential impact of AI on the job market, as we've discussed on this channel before. We've seen companies like Synthesia developing AI avatars that can already serve various purposes, such as in sales or talk show host. These advancements, while impressive, also pose a potential threat to job security. Take, for example, a recent campaign by Synthesia featuring David Beckham speaking 9 different languages.
Malaria isn't just any disease. It's the deadliest disease there's ever been.
Se dice que ha matado más de la mitad de la población que ha existido.
بليون مليون تاع مريض
وما زالت تقتل طفلا كل دقيقتين.
Mais nous pouvons y mettre fin. Nous savons comment, nous en avons la possibilité.
हमें और अधिक कार्रवाई की जरूरत है.
我们需要让世界领导人关注.
Hivyo tunazindua kampeni ya sauti.
Omwele bawari upin malaria.
Speak up and say, malaria must die.
It showcases the technology's potential for good, but it also highlights the potential for harm it can cause to the job market. Currently, we're in the early stages of AI development, but once AI reaches a point where it can think critically and make decisions swiftly and decisively, it could eliminate the need for many jobs. That's why it's essential to have discussions around upskilling and ensure that the benefits of AI are harnessed responsibly, as Bill Gates said not too long ago, which we discussed on this channel.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman told me he's a little bit scared about this technology. Are you scared?
We're all scared that a bad guy could grab it.
The White House, the administration, regulators here in the US, do you think they're up to speed?
Not yet.
They're not ready.
Not yet. I mean,
why are they not ready?
You're never going to have every politician understanding it, but how do you build up a capacity for health applications, for education, to review things? The government has a role to play here. They won't be the experts, but they have to be part of that discussion.
Now let's shift gears to our next topic. There have been reports of Amazon allegedly exploring the idea of offering a free or low-cost mobile phone service to its US Prime subscribers. This potential move by Amazon, if it comes to fruition, could have significant implications for the mobile service industry. Amazon is already considered a dominant player in various industries, and entering the mobile service market could further solidify its position. The company is reportedly in negotiations with wireless carriers such as Verizon, T-Mobile, and Dish Network to secure the lowest possible wholesale prices. By offering Prime members wireless plans for a significantly reduced cost or even for free, Amazon aims to enhance customer loyalty among its biggest spending customers. While this move by Amazon has the potential to benefit customers and increase competition in the market, some view Amazon as a monopoly, and its expansion into mobile services could intensify those concerns. There are worries about the impact on competition, data privacy, and security. It's crucial for Amazon to address these concerns and ensure that the data of its users is protected and used responsibly. It's worth noting that these discussions are ongoing, and a plan may take several months to launch, even years, or it could even be scrapped altogether. We'll have to wait and see how it unfolds and the potential impact it might have on the mobile service landscape. That wraps up today's episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast. I thank you guys for tuning in. Not feeling so hot today, but everyone has a job to do. We discussed the potential impact of AI on the job market alongside upskilling and ethical and responsible implementation of the technology. And we also discussed Amazon potentially adding a new tentacle to its business, as it seems that they're looking to foray into the mobile services industry.
There's so much talk about EVs in China. You have some pretty ambitious plans, doubling your annual deliveries to 250,000 units. You want to break even for most of your businesses this year, and you want to reach group profitability next year. How does NIO achieve those goals?
I think let me start with the sales volume. We are very confident to achieve our sales target in 2023 by focusing on 3 key actions. First, broaden the product portfolio. We are going to launch 5 new models based on our NIO technology platform 2.0 in the middle of this year. After transitioning all the models to NT2 platform, we'll be able to offer 8 models, complementary and competitive in diversified market segments.
So a lot of these blogs are talking about NIO being stuck in luxury, being stuck as a luxury brand. And so when you think about the Alps brand, the sub-brand that NIO is creating, that's supposed to help them get into a broader market, help them not only capture the consumer who's interested in luxury and is less price sensitive, but also capture the everyday consumer and really be able to take more market share out of the EV industry's pie. So I think that's what he was getting at when he was talking about eventually having even more new models, getting into more diversified markets. And then also when you think about battery as a service, that's something that's also helping them out as well. Being able to purchase the car but rent the battery. And before all the haters get in the comment sections and say, this is just stupid, it's not going to catch on, it's not going to work. Well, do your research. The vast majority of Norwegian customers are actually choosing to rent the battery and purchase the car. They're choosing battery as a service. And obviously, there's way more people in China choosing it. But the fact that the vast majority of Norwegian customers in a market that's not NIO's hometown are choosing this method of procuring their vehicles is speaks volumes to it.
Second, expand the charging and swapping network. We plan to deploy additional 1,000 power stations in China along the highways and in sub-tier cities with high potential. By doing this, we are able to access more markets and offer better recharging experience for existing users.
So another part of the game plan in order to reach their sales targets is really to just expand on the infrastructure. He mentions that they plan on deploying, 1,000 additional swap stations in China. And I'm actually going to tell a story from earlier today, actually, when I was at lunch. So I went to lunch with a Tesla owner and I went to lunch with a ICE vehicle owner. I believe he had a Suburban, some type of truck, but for the purpose of the story, we'll just call it Tesla Suburban. And so somehow we got into this rabbit hole of a conversation about electric vehicles, and the Tesla owner really loves his Tesla. He spoke very highly of it. He didn't feel like there was any inconvenience to his work, his life, or whatever. And so I agreed with him. And I thought that was really cool and that we had that conversation. And so the person who owns the truck or the Suburban actually thinks that it's way too early for electric vehicles. His point that he made is, well, let me kind of set the stage before I get into the point that he made. I live in Arizona, and let's just say Phoenix. So his point that he made is that I want to be able to go from Phoenix to Las Vegas, Nevada without having to stop. And so I was like, it's actually not that big of a problem. Tesla's made the investment into their infrastructure, into their supercharger network. And so they have the biggest supercharger network in the US, and that's what drives a lot of people to purchase Teslas. And to bounce off of that point, the Tesla owner mentioned that his Tesla has 350 miles of range. He has a long range Tesla Model Y. And so with that Model Y, with the distance from Phoenix, Arizona to Las Vegas being 297 miles, he can make it there, park his car, charge up, and be 100% full without even having to stop at a supercharger. You can just stop at a destination charger. Let's say he's going to a hotel or something. And he's like, all right, what if you're leaving and your car is not full? Well, this goes back to my point where I mentioned Tesla has put the effort into building out the infrastructure, building out their supercharger network across America. And so he can stop at a supercharger, and within 15 minutes, he can get 200 miles of range. And so that kind of thinking is not really a problem for a Tesla owner at all. So going back to NIO, this stresses the importance of the infrastructure. There's so many people in the US specifically. Now listen when I say in the US specifically, because I don't want this to get misconstrued, who won't buy any other car than a Tesla at this moment in time, because Tesla has the infrastructure. They have the supercharger network. They are relaxing those pain points of range anxiety for their customers. And so with NIO, building out the infrastructure is also going to reduce pain points for their customer and make their car more appealing to more people, versus all these other car companies who don't have the same infrastructure that NIO has. The economics of charging infrastructure is pretty appealing as well. It's pretty lucrative.
Third, unlock the value of AD technologies. You know, every NIO we plan to roll out more advanced features based on our in-house full-stack AD technologies, which come standard on every new NT2 vehicles. We believe a better AD experience will help our users to enjoy a better driving experience. Then we come to so in short, for the sales volume, the key for sales volume growth is competitive products with experience beyond expectation.
They're also focusing heavily on autonomous driving. A lot of R&D dollars are going into that. Billions of R&D dollars are going into that. They're developing full stack in-house AD, and they want to make it a standard on every vehicle that's going to be released on the NT 2.0 platform. So that is another compelling reason to choose a NIO vehicle, which in turn will help them boost sales and reach their target.
And then let me move on to the profitability. Very simple things, two things. First, focus on efficiency. All teams need to work very closely to launch the 5 new models. Second, fine-tune the pace. The match team monitors the market dynamics very closely and make lesser changes in an agile way based on our strategic prioritization. So in short, strong revenue growth together with tightened spending are the key for the improvement of our profitability.
Well, that's a basic equation, sales, costs. By the way, the market's looking at you that you're on set, and we're up 6.7%. So they're happy with what they see.
They're listening.
Now, here's the next question. They might be happy depending on what your answer is. Are you going to be profitable by next year?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we are confident for the group level to break even next year.
Okay. Now, what are your plans as far as you talked about volumes? What are your plans on pricing? Because there's this somewhat of a price war going on in some segments, of course, of the EV market in China. What are your plans around pricing your models?
I think the short answer is that NIO always try to maintain a very stable price system. I would say actually in the last year and this year, China auto market is going through a very profound reshuffle thanks to the increasing EV penetration. So in the end, price war will lead to industry consolidation. But for NIO, I think we would like to differentiate ourselves by competitive products, innovative technologies, comprehensive power infrastructure, and a vibrant user community.
So are you planning more cuts, or you want to keep things stable, as you said?
I would say for existing models, we will keep the price very stable. And for new models, we need to follow the market very closely.
Okay, so they even talk about the price war here, which is pretty interesting. My take on the price war is that price wars can be really debilitating to smaller players. Some of these companies cannot afford to cut costs. Partaking in a price war is really going to affect margins, and a lot of companies, when they do price wars, don't realize that prices can get really sticky when you slash them. So it's not just like, price wars are meant to be temporary, but it's not just like we slash prices, we gain more market share, then we raise prices again. It hardly ever works out like that, judging from numerous case studies. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is that reducing price is not always a reversible action. And so this can lead companies into bankruptcy or consolidation, as he mentioned. So with him saying that NIO's models are, the pricing of their existing models that are already rolled out is going to be pretty stable, that makes sense for me, because with price wars, your only focus point is the price. NIO is clearly a company that's focused on innovation. The dollars speak for themselves. The proof is in the pudding. They're putting billions and billions of dollars into R&D. And then aside from that, they are a premium company. And so if you liken that to a traditional legacy automaker, Mercedes-Benz, how often do you see a Mercedes-Benz go on sale? Not too often. And that's because the people who are, or the consumers that are purchasing this product are not as sensitive to price. So for a luxury brand like NIO, which they are, I agree with the CFO's strategy and what he said here today. They simply just cater to a different market. Existing pricing on existing models are going to be stable. But he also said that the newer models are going to follow the market very closely. Now, this brings me back to the Alps brand. Again, a lot of NIO's success, in my opinion, will be riding on the Alps brand, which is their foray into the broader market. Alps, from my perspective, isn't intended to be a luxury brand. So I imagine there will be more competitive pricing with that. And so in my opinion, if Alps was released at the time of the price wars, which we're seeing right now, I would expect them to start cutting prices there along with the rest of the competition.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about battery prices, which NIO among everyone globally has been suffering from. We saw lithium carbonate sliding now.
Yeah.
How does that affect your business strategies?
The short answer is the lithium price decline will contribute to my margin growth. Lithium price has risen sharply in the past year and peaked in Q4 2022, which has adversely impacted the whole EV industry. And recently, as you have just said, the lithium price has started to decline gradually, and we expect the lithium price continue to drop to a reasonable. And in the long run, with more steady supply growth, we believe the lithium price will continue to drop to a reasonable level, and this is good for the whole EV industry, especially for premium BEV, typically with a higher capacity battery packs.
And this is true as well. While these battery suppliers are squeezing in the short term, if you zoom out, the cost of lithium is going down over time. The battery makes up 40% of the cost of the car. So EVs are just going to continue to gain more and more market share, in my opinion, over time. The range is getting better. The battery technology is getting better. The cost is going down. In my opinion, from my perspective, why wouldn't it work? Anyways, so some really good insight. It's always good to hear from the company themselves. It's good to see them on these type of interviews. He said that they are going to reach their strategic sales goal this year by really doing three things. Number one, broadening the product portfolio. Number two, more infrastructure. And number three, having a focus on full stack autonomous driving. So you can find the article that I'm talking about today on financialtimes.com. But before we get into the topic of today's video, let's just kind of give an overview of the state of cloud gaming. In 2020, an article from ARK Invest titled "Who Will Become the Netflix of Cloud Gaming" by Nicholas Grouse, the potential for cloud gaming services was discussed. Companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, and Sony have been vying for a slice of the cloud gaming market, aiming to capitalize on a trend towards gaming as a service. The article highlighted the shift in the gaming industry from physical discs to digital downloads, leading to hopes of a Netflix-style bundled service for gaming. However, early attempts fell short of expectations due to lack of AAA games, but with more AAA games adopting free-to-play models and monetizing through digital goods and services, the landscape has begun to change. Another important trend mentioned in the article was the rise of cross-platform gaming, pushing the industry towards cloud-based gaming. The allure of cloud-based gaming lies in its ability to provide instant access to games on any connected device without the need for downloads. While cloud gaming is still in the early stages, the involvement of major tech players like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, and Sony hint at the potential for a significant inflection point in the future. Now that we set the stage, let's return to the article from Financial Times discussing the Sony CEO's comments on cloud-based gaming. The CEO raised concerns about the persistent technical problems in cloud-based gaming. Challenges like latency, network stability, and infrastructure-related limitations cast doubts on the feasibility and reliability of the cloud gaming platforms. These concerns remind us that while cloud gaming holds great promise, it's still in its infancy. The technical hurdles that need to be overcome are significant. Latency and network stability in particular are crucial for delivering a seamless gaming experience. And let's not forget the importance of robust infrastructure to support the demands of cloud gaming. However, despite these challenges, it's important to recognize the opportunities that cloud gaming presents. The gaming industry is experiencing rapid growth, and cloud gaming offers a new and convenient way for gamers to access high-quality video games. As more people become interested in gaming, the demand for cloud gaming services is likely to increase. One of the key advantages of cloud gaming is its ability to reach a wider audience. By eliminating the need for expensive gaming hardware such as consoles or high-end PCs, cloud gaming allows companies to attract gamers who may have been previously unable to access these experiences. This expansion of the potential audience can lead to increased revenue and market growth for the cloud gaming providers. Furthermore, cloud gaming has the potential to offer cost savings for both gamers and game developers. Gamers no longer need to invest in expensive hardware to play high-quality games, as the games are processed and rendered in the cloud. This can lower the barrier to entry, making gaming more accessible to a broader audience. Additionally, game developers can potentially reduce the cost of game development by focusing on cloud gaming platforms, which can streamline development and distribution processes. Another significant opportunity lies in the growing popularity of mobile gaming. With cloud gaming, gamers can access high-quality games on their mobile devices, tapping into the ever-expanding market of mobile gamers. Companies that focus on cloud gaming for mobile devices can position themselves to capture a substantial market share and capitalize on the rising demand for mobile gaming experience. It's also worth noting that advancements in cloud computing technology play a vital role in shaping the future of cloud gaming. As cloud computing technology continues to evolve, we can expect better performance, increased reliability, and potentially lower costs for cloud gaming providers. Companies that stay up to date with the latest advancements in cloud computing technology can gain a competitive advantage in the market. So while there are certainly technical challenges facing cloud gaming, it's important to recognize the opportunities that it presents. The gaming industry is growing rapidly, and cloud gaming offers a new and convenient way for gamers to access high-quality games. With the potential for a wider audience, cost savings, the popularity of mobile gaming, and advancements in cloud computing technology, cloud gaming is poised to make a significant impact. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that cloud gaming is still in its early stages, and there's much work to be done to overcome these technical hurdles. As the industry continues to evolve and companies invest in innovation and collaboration, we can expect significant improvements in the feasibility and reliability of cloud gaming platforms. As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear to see that cloud gaming holds immense potential. It may not be the ultimate gaming paradigm just yet, but it certainly could be in the future. The challenges highlighted by Sony's CEO and other industry experts indicate that there's still much work to be done. However, the opportunity for growth and change is certainly undeniable.